gentlemen, welcome to the first fight of the evening. Fighting out of the blue corner from Malaysia, Ann Athena Osman.
Hi, you're watching 101. I'm Heidi Yutim, and with me today is Malaysia's first female MMA fighter, Ann Osman. Hi, how are you doing, Ann? I mean, you're the first female MMA fighter to have actually won a professional fight. So, how do you feel about that?
Well, of course, I'm happy and proud to be representing Malaysia, especially being on a world-class stage in Asia's MMA biggest MMA organization, One Fighting Championship, and being in Dubai representing Malaysia, especially on Malaysia Day, was the best feeling ever, and winning it, and yeah, for this past 1 year span, just winning my first fight, it was my first win, and I just felt great. But moving on from there, I'm really focused for this upcoming fight in ONE FC's Roar Tigers.
Okay, talking about the fight, I mean, did you expect the fight, to actually win the fight?
Of course. I mean, I've always believed that I can do it, regardless that people have been telling me that, oh, she's a two-time world boxing champion, oh, she's taller than you, she's bigger than you, that she's stronger than you. But it never deterred me from believing in myself, and I think that's the most important thing. Ever since signing those papers and even going into the cage, I've always believed in myself and believed in the work that I put in, and believed in my team and my coach. So I've always set that belief in myself, and yeah, for sure, I won the fight.
Oh, great. So, okay, talk about your life. Okay,
okay.
How did it all begin for you, and how did you get involved in MMA?
Well, how I got into MMA was initially for fitness, and I'm a very independent girl, and being in sales line, I was working in a corporate company, and I've always done things on myself. I'm very independent, and my parents worry about me because I'm a girl and I come back late because of work, and they said, my mom suggested I take some kind of self-defense, because mind you, I never had any martial art background whatsoever. So at the same time, this was about 3 to 4 years ago, and I was in this gym, just training for fitness, just getting fit and all that. And I saw my coach, AJ Pyro, teaching MMA class, Muay Thai class. So I just decided to start. Decided to participate in that class. And I started loving it. I thought it was a great tool for me to defend myself. It was definitely a confidence booster. But once I started Muay Thai and then MMA, I just got immediately just got hooked, because I just fell in love with the sport. And from day one, little did I know, I started training every day, fighting out of Borneo Tribal Squad, and now signed with One Fighting Championship.
So what did your family and friends say about that, your training?
They understand. I'm very grateful for having a really strong and supportive support system. Both from my all from my team, my family, my friends, even Malaysians, even the media such as yourself, and everyone from all over the world has been giving me a lot of positive comments. Although I can't deny that there has been some negative lashback, but I always tend to look on the positive side, and all these love and hate, it just drives me further.
So what are those negative flashbacks that you mentioned just now?
Well, there's some people believe that girls shouldn't fight. Some believe that that mixed martial arts is not for girls, and some people don't even take women's MMA seriously, because for all we know that MMA itself is a new sport, and it's just rapidly growing, even globally, and especially in Southeast Asia. And women's MMA is just it's just newly introduced to the world, even globally. So some people doesn't even take women seriously in the MMA scene, but I've seen a lot of high level women athletes proving them wrong. And I'm just glad to be representing Malaysia and women's MMA here in Southeast Asia, and just being part of that, to prove that women can be part of it. You know, it's not a male sport. It may be dominated by males, but you know, you've seen a lot of women, you know, getting that attention and, you know, proving other whatever negative comments wrong.
Yeah, but talking about the negative perception that people say that MMA is just for men, so, and it's a blood sport. So what do you think about that? Like it's just, I mean, like people say, yeah, like what I said just now. People say that MMA is just for guys. What do you think about that?
Well, you know, I've been asked this question time and time again, you know, is what do I think about MMA? Well, to me, MMA is not a male sport. You know, we've seen a lot of martial art female athletes, you know, in karate, taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, you know, and it's not different from that. It's just another sport, you know, and I just hope and wish that people would look past all the violence and see mixed martial art as an art, because it's both art and a sport. It requires athleticism, it requires the same dedication, discipline that an athlete needs to put in, but at the same time it's an art because, you know, there's just so much that you can learn. You know, it's like a tree with so much branches, and you've got to learn all these little details.
So I hear you have a day job as well?
Yes.
Maybe you want to tell us about that as well?
Well, besides fighting professionally as, you know, full-time, I also manage and run a travel adventure company back home in Sabah. You know, Sabah has a lot of potential, and you know, it's a great tourism destination for sure. It's what I call home, you know, and I love being in Sabah. I was born and raised there, and you know, what better way? I love outdoor sports, and what better way to, you know, make a living out of my own passion. So I made my professional debut in mixed martial arts, and I opened a business out of my own passion, which is outdoor sports. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm managing a travel adventure company called Borneo Paddlers in Sabah.
So recently you even doing some promotions for Sabah Tourism. I hear that about that.
Yeah. Sabah Tourism Board has been very supportive. They've been great, and you know, my team and I back home in Sabah, we're very proud. We're very proud Sabahans, and you know, we're very proud of our home. So because of, you know, everything it's got its jungles, it's very accessible to, you know, the beaches, the mountains, the islands. It's just so beautiful, and there's just so much things that you can do. And yeah, we've always tell, you know, people or even fighters that, you know, where better to train, you know, in the outdoors, if not in Sabah. You know, we've got that mountain for elevation training, we've got the beaches, and even our own team, we train, you know, we'll do our run at the beaches. We even recently did BJJ training by the beach in Tanjung Aru, you know, just overlooking the sunset. And it's great, you know, and it's such a beautiful place with really beautiful culture and people.
Yeah, I saw your BJJ training in your Instagram.
Yeah, I love it. Imagine doing triangle chokes, you know, just watching the sunset. What a beautiful photo, right?
So how does it feel like? I mean, like the difference between training outdoors and training indoors, like?
Well, it gets you in different environment, which I think is really important, because, you know, you can't just be in your comfort zone like in the gym. It's great to try different altitudes and different, you know, elevation, especially to strengthen your conditioning. And it's, you know, it just gets you out of boredom too, you know, being in the same place. So us being able to train by the beach, you know, just running along the beach, looking at the waters and the sunset, or even doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu training by the beach is just gorgeous. And after that, running at, you know, near Mount Kinabalu with that different altitude, it really improves our conditioning.
And Sabah has the most beautiful view.
Yes, you know it.
Yes, of course. And talking about your Instagram, I saw that like you doing a lot of, I mean, you love makeup and maybe you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, I mean, that's just me, you know. Even before, I can't change who I am, you know. You don't necessarily have to be a female MMA fighter and come off as someone who's, you know, like ruthless and, you know, all out there. And, you know, there's no reason to stop being feminine. So for me, you know, in the gym, yes, I'm all dedicated, I'm all committed, and I'm all in my sweats. in the gym, but outside the gym, you know, I just love to make myself look good, and it just makes me feel good. So yeah, I do wear dresses, my heels, I love it, and even my own, you know, therapy, like my distress therapy is, you know, going to the spas, getting my nails done, getting my hair done, buying some makeup. You know, it just makes me feel good about myself.
Okay. So there's rumors that say that you'll be going against. I mean, you once fought Sherilyn Lim, the Singaporean, and yeah, on your second fight, the fight was cancelled, and there was a rumor saying that you guys will meet again. Is that true?
Nothing confirmed. Actually, well, people have been asking me, you know, would you fight Sherilyn again? Because, you know, the first one was a treat, and people thought that, wow, you know, this is entertaining, and people wanted more, so they demanded the rematch. But unfortunately, the rematch didn't happen because Sherilyn didn't make weight. But you know, I wouldn't reject the offer, but however, I feel that she needs to establish herself as a professional MMA fighter. Having said that, however, you know, the female roster in 1FC is really new, and you know, I'm just hoping to go against, you know, and meet other female fighters out there, and then hopefully 1FC will build their female roster and add more female athletes signed with 1FC in every weight class. So we'll see more female, you know, other female fighters, and it's great to, you know, just instead of having rematches, just, you know, fight other new female athletes.
All right. I mean, like talking about MMA, like
Okay.
you know, the scene MMA is growing. So how do you see it in Malaysia now? I mean, like, do you see it gains a lot of support, or otherwise, or something?
Well, well, both ways. But you know, majority gives a lot of support, and we can see, you know, with the amount of MMA gyms popping up, the amount of MMA stores popping up, that says a lot. That means that, you know, it's a rapid, you know, it's growing rapidly, and it's just been really new. Actually, I think MMA in Malaysia has just been introduced probably approximately 2 years, and over the past 2 years, like, we can see today that there's, you know, a lot of those single martial art gyms, like a jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai gym, has now transitioned and, you know, changed themselves to become a mixed martial art gym. And we've seen new gyms opening up, we've seen a lot of MMA stores, and then we can see a lot of, you know, aspiring fighters, MMA fighters out there who participate in all sorts, in amateur and pro level. So I think I can say that in Malaysia, people are getting a lot, you know, it's gaining a lot more interest, and I think it's, you know, being received or accepted positively by both media and the whole public.
So in 5 years' time, what is your hope to see how would MMA in Malaysia evolve into, like, in 5 years' time? What is your hope on that?
Well, if we can see after the past 2 years, it's been growing so big. Well, what else if it's, you know, after the past, I mean, next 5 years, I can see that, you know, 1FC is definitely going to grow big, and, you know, of course, you know, the main goal is to dominate the world, and I think that can happen, of course. All I can see is that there will be more professional MMA athletes coming out of Malaysia, fighting out of Malaysia, and that's great, you know, because it's great to be seen as an active country with so many, you know, active MMA athletes.
Okay, so as for yourself, like in 5 years' time, what would you like to be? I mean, like, would you like to be an actor, or continue to be an MMA fighter, or like growing up with a business?
Well, I never know, you know. I mean, for me, it's, you know, one goal at a time. And at the moment, I'm managing both my business and my fight career. And the ultimate goal for me in 1FC is to become the first female champion. And that's what I'm setting my eyes on. And yeah, at the same time, getting my business to be more successful along the way. And yeah, I mean, I think everyone's just got to check back, you know, with me in the next 5 years, because I'm always like, adding new goals to my life.
Okay, thank you so much. I mean, like, it's been lovely having you with us, and thank you for your time, and we'll see you again. Thank you for
Thanks,
watching.